Thank you for joining us on CBA News Brief. My name is Wangui Ngugi. The President of the Republic of Somaliland, His Excellency Musa Bihi Abdi, has inaugurated a large-scale training program for the first batch of military officers in Beledweyn on the outskirts of Hargeisa. The inauguration ceremony of the training of the officers, which has taken place in Abdullahi Askar Training College, has seen the presence of President Musa Bihi, the Minister of Defense, the commanders of the police, military, custodial corps, and Coast Guard forces. Various speeches were delivered to encourage the young officers who are expected to be trained there, including some of the students who recently graduated from the National Youth Service Program. Some of the National Army's training officers who spoke at the event emphasized the importance of these efforts to lead a nationwide training program for the young graduates. They said they had prepared qualified trainers and all the various military and leadership educational needs of these young people. The commander of Somaliland's military forces, Major General Nu Ismail Tani, thanked the president for his vision to train youth in the National Service Program and urged the new trainees to take advantage of this training that they have been lucky to be selected for and encouraged them to have determination to finish the training. The Minister of Defense, Mr. Abdikani Mahamoud Ateye Farid, on his part said it is the national success to see young and educated youth joining the National Army and being trained as officers in their own country. President Musa Bihi has highlighted in his speech to the newly recruited youth about the awaiting responsibilities and the accompanied dignity of serving in the National Armed Forces. President Musa Bihi made it clear that the new recruits have the means to protect the nation, and he said, and I quote, "You are starting the way of sacrificing yourselves to protect the nation and its interests. Someone who doesn't do that will not become a soldier or receive any ranks," end of quote. On the other hand, the president has overseen the hostels, food and educational facilities for young officers who will be trained in the Abdullahi Askar Military Training College. The Ministry of Agricultural Development of the Republic of Somaliland has pledged to increase food production in the country. The Director General of the Ministry of Agriculture Development, while speaking at a stakeholders event in Hargeisa, said the government intends to work with farmers by offering seedlings to boost the agricultural sector in the country. The Director General of the Ministry of Agricultural Development assured farmers and other partners in the agribusiness that his ministry is working towards increasing food production in the country. The Ministry of Agricultural Development pledged to work towards mechanizing Somaliland's agriculture, rehabilitation of irrigation schemes, water catchments, feeder roads, and promoting seed production systems through enabling access to improved germplasm, among several other activities. The government also promised to establish an agricultural seed lab with the intention of analyzing seedlings before they are given to farmers. The government's pledges comes 2 weeks after the United Nations expert panel in Somalia, including Somaliland, released its report in the 2019 accusing the Somaliland Ministry of Agriculture of blocking efforts by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization to bring much-needed seedlings to farmers in Somaliland who say the drought has affected food production. The Prime Minister of the Federal Government of Somalia, Hassan Ali Kaire, returned to the country last night after working trips to France, Belgium and Qatar, and he was welcomed by ministers, lawmakers and other officials at Aadan Yabaal International Airport. The Prime Minister, who attended the annual Paris Peace Forum, visited the Somali embassy in Paris and pledged that the government would renovate the embassy and the official residence of the Somali ambassador to France. Hassan Ali Kaire, in the sidelines of the Paris meeting, met the foreign ministers of France, the Netherlands, Russia, Finland and Sweden's Secretary of State. The Prime Minister also met with the President of the Islamic Development Bank, Bandar Hajar, and the Secretary General of Reporters Without Borders. Mr. Hassan Ali Kaira then travelled from France to Belgium, where he met with the chairperson of the European Commission for International Cooperation and Development and the European Union's Vice President for a strong relationship between the European Union and Somalia. Kaira's 10-day tour concluded in Qatar, where he met the Emir of Qatar, Prince Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. The State Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Abdulkadir Ahmed Keir Abdi, today held a meeting with Ambassador of Sweden to the Federal Republic of Somalia, Mr. Staffan Tillander. During the meeting held at his ministerial office in Mogadishu, they discussed enhancing bilateral relations and cooperation between the two friendly countries, and in addition to reviewing the latest developments in the regional and international arenas of common interest. The State Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation thanked Sweden for its support to the government of Somalia and the people as an international donor in stabilizing and developing the country's economy. A U.S. drone strike has killed a senior member of the Al-Shabaab extremist group. Confirming this report, U.S. Africa Command said it conducted an airstrike targeting the Al-Shabaab terrorists in the vicinity of Kunyobaro in Somalia on Tuesday, November 19th. U.S. Africa Command assessed that the airstrike killed one terrorist. The individual that was targeted had direct ties to the Al-Qaeda terror organization. U.S. Army Major General William Gayler, who is the Director of Operations at U.S. Africa Command, said armed overwatch and the progression of Somalia forces are preventing individuals and larger groups of Al-Shabaab fighters from doing future harm to innocent Somalis and becoming a potential threat to the United States. He added that ongoing Somalia efforts and persistent pressure on the network helps create the necessary conditions to extend the reach of Somali security forces and governance. Currently, they assess that no civilians were injured or killed as a result of this airstrike. U.S. Africa Command says it will continue to work with its partners to transfer the responsibility for long-term security in Somalia from AMISOM to the federal government of Somalia and its member states. Well, that's the end of CBA News in Brief. Join Eunice Deco with more and detailed news. Have a lovely time.